Which one do you want to start with, Paul?
Let's do Air, Land, Sea.
Let's start with Air, Land, and Sea. Let me give you the stats here. 2-player only game. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 2 only.
2 only.
It is I think there are 18 cards in the game. That's it. A deck of 18 cards. And you are playing a win best out of 3 military theater game. So you have 3 sort of large cards that you put on the board. One says air, one says land, one says sea. Then you take the 18 cards, you shuffle them up, you give one player 6 and another player 6. Each player will play 1 card on their turn until everybody's played all the cards. So you will have played 12 cards by the end. When you play a card, the cards in your hand are either air, land, or sea cards. They have numbers on them ranging from 1 to 6. You play a card to a specific theater. It must match the theater on the card. And you keep going back and forth, fighting for these theaters. Now, when you play the cards, the vast majority of them have special powers on them.
Yep.
Play this card, flip another card face down. When any cards flip face down, if you look at the back of all the cards, they say 2 on them. So they have 2 value when they're flipped down. You're fighting for them. You're going back and forth. At the end of the round, whoever wins 2 out of 3 gets 6 points. First person to 12 points wins. But there's a fun little twist there.
A twist.
You can withdraw. You can run away at any point during the round. But depending on how many cards you have in your hand, that's how many victory points you're going to be giving up. So at the very beginning of the round, when you've only played 1 card, you can go, I concede.
I yield.
And the other person only gets 2 points. And you will, that is a huge part of the strategy in this game, is you have to do that because you sometimes will have a bad hand. But knowing when you have a bad hand is very interesting because you still might have a better hand than your opponent.
Yeah. It's like you have to know when to hold them or know when to fold them.
So this is a game of rope-a-doping because if you open with a 6, your opponent might fold. You don't want your opponent to fold if you've got a great hand. You want them stuck in as long as possible. So maybe you open with an okay card. And then they have to wonder, oh, wait, is my hand better? Or are they rope-a-doping? Or what is happening? Because at a certain point, when you have, when you've played all your cards but 1 or 2, now you can't get out because now it's 6 no matter what. Yep. 6 points the other person. What are your thoughts on this, Paul?
Well, as the...
Oh, sorry. I just want to get... The designer is John Perry, and the artist is Valerio Buonfantino and Stephen Gibson from Arcane Wonders.
As the game breaker / metagamer, I really like this because the mechanics are so simple. You teach it in 2 minutes.
Tops.
Not even 5 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And what you're really doing is you're playing against your opponent. Like the game really exists in the meta. Your cards are going to mean something, but you're basically trying to deceive your opponent. Do I have something? It's almost like poker in a way, And I think that's
because there's only 18 cards, and within a game or 2, you will know what every card in the deck does. So you'll know what the odds are that your opponent has certain things.
Exactly. And what's also interesting is that if you have high level cards, your opponent does not. And so now, and they should know that, you don't have it. So, they don't have it. So they're more inclined to bow out.
Yeah. But you don't want them to.
You don't want to. So you got to play that little game. Like, oh no, I don't got it.
Yeah.
But they know you have it.
Yeah. Well, start playing things face down, and then they don't know anything about your hand. Yeah. And then you have cards that flip your cards over, and you turn a 2 into a 6, and then it's too late for them to bow out. And
I mean, there's 18 cards. Each person gets 3, and so there are 6 that are not in play. So that they have to guess. Maybe no one has a 6.
Yeah. Because 6 cards are not in play, which is huge. Yeah. And so a third of the deck not in play every round.
What I really like about it gets to that really quick. Yeah. You play it once or twice. You're the first time you play, you go, I'm just playing the numbers. I don't know what. But then when you know that there are only 18 cards, that's not too far for you to memorize. And you go oh, now we're playing the meta. And so it gets into it really quick, and I really enjoy that.
I had a really fun game with Tom on Friday before I showed up to game night. We played a quick game of Air, Land, and Sea, and my favorite thing was I had a hand of all crap and 1 6. And I opened with the 6, and he withdrew. And I showed him the rest of my hand.
You announced your presence with authority.
You. I was like, you would have destroyed me that round, and I got 2 points out of it.
I'm going to announce my presence with authority.
Yeah, that to me was that. So plays like that are really fun. And also just every round, I drew a 6 a bunch of times in a row, and every round I would play a 6 and go withdraw. And then he'd have to decide should I? Or it was just fun. And it was very close. I think at the end it was like 12 to 11. Like it was the last game. Neither one of us could withdraw without giving the other person the victory. And so I guess in that sense, it sort of came down to who drew the better hand a little bit. But maybe that was one of our faults for not playing better prior to that to not get to that point.
With a game like that, like you're really not, like the score means nothing. The win actually it's the wrestling.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes too. Like play again. Like it's very fast. This is a $15 game, very cheap on Amazon for $13.99 plus shipping. I don't think you can go wrong. I think this is a great is an airplane game. This is a take to a bar game. Yeah. This is a take on vacation game.
It's a small box footprint. It's classic filler. This is
2-player only, which is so it's not a game night filler, but this is definitely like throw it in your pocket and I mean you could even just take the cards and just put it into a bag and stick it. You don't even need the box. This is a very small footprint. It's just a deck. It's 18 cards and a couple victory point chits. You don't even need the victory point chit. You could just write them down if you wanted to, or play with peanuts. That's Air, Land, and Sea. That's a high recommend from me.
Me too, definitely.
Yeah. This is a keeper. Permanent keeper in my collection for very fast 2-player games.
Absolutely.
Definitely check that out. Air, Land, and Sea.